Alrighty, so next project, it's time for a rear sway bar. So what I've got here is I have the front sway bar off of the car, which I think is 5/8, and then I've got this free one that came with the car, which is 3/4. They're not exactly the same, but I think I can make the 3/4 one fit on the front with no problem, and I know I can get the 5/8 one onto the rear. It's probably going to be something that's not really going to help the car much as far as handling, but I'm going to make it look damn cool. One of my first modifications when I was a kid to my car was to put a sway bar on it. That was actually the second mod. The first mod was a set of fog lights, which then all my friends and my dad proceeded to tease me and refer to it as something that rhymes with fog that I'm not going to say. So anyway, I'm going to make a set of mounts and weld them onto the bottom of the axle and attach something, I bent this out of aluminum, something that looks similar to that out of this one. And I went to the junkyard today, a little shopping trip, and I got a couple of end links, and I picked up an intercooler. And there's some benefit to going to the junkyard when you don't have a car person working the counter, and there's some negative things. So they kind of packed it to me for the linkages. It was $6 a piece, but they got the intercooler as an oil cooler and charged me $14 plus a $2 core charge. So I will definitely be using that on the front of the car, even if I have to cut the end caps off. Came off of a PT Cruiser, and I just swiped it because it looked like it was about the right size that I wanted. So anyway, I'm going to get started on this, and maybe I'll show you the brackets before I weld them on, and I don't know. Alright, so I went ahead and made a couple of overly complex brackets to weld onto the bottom of the axle. So I'm going to weld that onto the bottom of the axle, use this as my bushing, and then that gets bolted onto that, holding the sway bar in place. Now comes the fun part. I get to get out the fire and bend the sway bar into that shape right there. So next time you see it, hopefully it'll be on the car. So I got the torch out, bent the bar to the shape I want, got the mounts made. I'm going to weld these little doohickeys on here, put some holes in them, and that way I have something to attach my, my new junkyard end links to. So, see you in a minute. Alright, so I went ahead and I got the sway bar all welded on to the axle. Not sure this is going to end up super effective for the car, but damn it if it's not going to look cool. I did start re-engineering things on the fly here and ended up with my mounting points for my linkage a little closer together than I had planned on. And the links that I bought at the junkyard are a little bit long. So it's making a little bit of work, and I'm going to have to cut a couple 3 inches out of there and weld them back together again. But I don't think that's going to be a terrible, horrible thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back. Alright, so that's all done. So sway bar's in, canard bar's on, everything kind of works and fits in there. I'm going to have to put some paint on it, maybe zinc treat some of these nuts and bolts that look so crappy. But that's that. So what did we learn today? Well, I guess a sway bar can look cool, even if it doesn't help your car handle. Also, if you end up at the U-Pull-It lot, try to go to the counter person that looks the least like they know what they're doing. Maybe you'll end up with a discount. Nice and accessible, that's what I like. And one of the other most important things is if you're going to tease your friends about their car accessory choices, remember, the scars you create could last a lifetime. Huh. Alrighty, I hope this has motivated you to get out and work on your car. Go do something good.